What a scandal. What a mess. Harry is at it again, and this time the drama is juicier than ever. I mean, just when you think he couldn't fall any lower, he surprises the world with something even more shocking. Reports are now swirling like wildfire that Prince Harry actually reached out to his own father, yes, King Charles, with a desperate, almost humiliating plea. And not just for a small favor, no. Harry allegedly begged for a jaw-dropping $10 million loan from the sovereign grant just so he could make a grand appearance at the WellChild Awards as their patron. Now let's just pause here. Can you even imagine the audacity? The sovereign grant is taxpayer-funded money, a privilege Harry himself threw away when he and Meghan dramatically announced their financial independence back in 2020. Yet here we are, Harry crawling back, hat in hand, pleading for royal cash like a man drowning in his own Hollywood nightmare. And let me tell you, it gets so much worse. Not only did King Charles firmly shut him down, but Prince William himself is said to have stepped in with the iciest words you could ever imagine. "You are not royalty." Can you believe that? From his own brother. Those words must have cut Harry like a knife. This isn't just some family squabble behind palace doors. This is a public humiliation, a catastrophic blow to Harry's already fragile image. And today, we are tearing this whole thing apart. How a simple request for help spiraled into a full-blown royal humiliation. The desperate plea. Let's start with Harry's so-called $10 million request. It wasn't just about a father helping his son. This was a direct plea for money funded by British taxpayers, money that Harry has no right to anymore. Remember when he and Meghan packed their bags, walked out of Buckingham Palace, and declared they'd make it on their own in California? Well, that independence dream is crumbling right before our eyes. Sure, they signed those flashy deals with Netflix and Spotify, but what came out of it? Their Netflix docuseries was slammed for being overly dramatic and repetitive. People rolled their eyes at the constant grievances, and that Spotify deal canceled after producing just one show. To add salt to the wound, Spotify execs even mocked them publicly. Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan are living like Hollywood A-listers in a $14 million Montecito mansion. They're flying private jets, covering security costs in the millions every single year, and maintaining a lifestyle that would bleed even the richest dry. When you add it all up, Harry's move to beg for this loan isn't just desperate, it's humiliating. The WellChild Awards twist now. Let's talk about the WellChild Awards. For over a decade, Harry has been a proud patron of this incredible UK charity that supports seriously ill children and their families. Normally, this event should have been a shining, heartfelt moment for Harry, a chance to show compassion and remind people of the prince who once had genuine warmth. But no, this year, his connection to the WellChild Awards is being overshadowed by this ugly money scandal. The optics are awful. A disgraced prince who walked away from his duties, trashed his family in a best-selling memoir, and is now crawling back, begging for cash just so he can show his face at a charity event. Even if Harry's intentions were pure, the way this is splashed across the media makes him look like a man clinging to the scraps of his former royal life. And let's be real, that's exactly how his critics are painting him. They argue Harry isn't showing up for the kids. He's showing up to rebuild an image he burned to the ground himself, with years of tell-all interviews and scorched earth headlines. King Charles says no. King Charles's refusal wasn't just about money. It was symbolic, a bold line drawn in the sand. Charles has been all about streamlining the monarchy, cutting unnecessary expenses, and proving to taxpayers that the crown is modern and responsible. Handing millions to a son who abandoned his duties and then publicly trashed the family? That would destroy his credibility as king. Insiders say Charles does feel sympathy for Harry, but deep down he knows bailing him out would spark outrage. Imagine the headlines: British taxpayer funds Prince Harry's Hollywood lifestyle. The backlash would be nuclear. So Charles's rejection wasn't just financial, it was a message. If you wanted independence, then this is it. Live with the consequences. William's brutal blow. Even in America, where they were once welcomed like icons, surveys show growing fatigue. People are tired of the constant grievances. In the UK, their popularity has hit rock bottom. And let's not forget, the symbolism of Charles and William's refusals is seismic. This wasn't just a casual no. This was a defining moment that cemented Harry's status as an outsider. By denying his request, the monarchy made it clear they're moving on without him. Charles is laser-focused on running a leaner, modern monarchy. William is stepping up as the heir, showing he's ready to rule with firmness. And Harry? He's left out in the cold, standing on the sidelines, watching his old life slip further away with every headline. For a man who once walked behind his mother's coffin and earned the world's sympathy, this is nothing short of heartbreaking. But And here's the kicker, it's also self-inflicted. He made choices that cut him off from the crown. And now he's paying the price. The reputation collapse. This is why the world is glued to this scandal. It's not just about money, it's about reputation, family, and the brutal reality of burning bridges. The WellChild Awards should have been Harry's chance to shine, to remind the public of his compassion. Instead, it's been twisted into a story of desperation. The spotlight won't be on the brave children and families he's meant to honor. The spotlight is firmly on him, on his humiliation, his plea, his rejection, and that is devastating. This is certainly not the picture Harry and Meghan imagined when they fled the UK. They wanted freedom, glamour, independence. What they found instead is isolation, scrutiny, and the harsh truth that Hollywood isn't as forgiving as they thought. The crumbling lifestyle. And, let's talk about that lifestyle, because it's turning into a monster they can't tame. The security bills alone are bleeding them dry, running into millions every year. Remember, they lost taxpayer-funded security the moment they stepped down. Harry even went so far as to sue the British government to try and get it back. An expensive, exhausting legal battle that still drags on. Their Montecito mansion? Gorgeous, yes, but it's also a financial black hole. Sky-high property taxes, maintenance, endless staff salaries. It's the kind of overhead even Hollywood megastars would struggle to sustain. And let's face it, Harry and Meghan's careers haven't fully caught up to bankroll that kind of luxury. So when Harry comes crawling back to Charles asking for $10 million, that's not just a casual ask. That's a bailout, plain and simple. A lifeline to keep the whole crumbling empire afloat. The world is watching, and the public? Oh, they're eating this up. Critics are calling it poetic justice. The prince who once had the world at his feet is now on his knees begging. Social media is ablaze with memes, hashtags, and brutal commentary. Some say it's karma, others say it's tragic. Either way, no one is ignoring it. Even in America, where Harry and Meghan once found sympathetic ears, the tide is turning. Polls show their popularity slipping fast. People are tired of the constant victimhood narrative. They wanted to see Harry and Meghan thrive, build something inspiring. Instead, they see headlines about lawsuits, canceled deals, and now public begging. Charles and William's iron stance. Charles and William's united front in this is powerful. For so long, people speculated about rifts and rivalries within the family. But here, in this moment, father and son stood firm together. The message is crystal clear. There's no more bailing Harry out. For Charles, it's about protecting the monarchy's image. For William, it's about the future of the crown. He can't afford to let his brother's chaos drag the institution down with him. By saying no, they're both signaling the monarchy is moving forward, without Harry and Meghan. The cautionary tale. When you really think about it, Harry's life has become a cautionary tale. A man who had everything: royal status, global admiration, opportunities to make genuine change, and he walked away. And now, he's trapped between two worlds. Too royal to ever blend in with Hollywood. Too rebellious, too outspoken to ever be fully welcomed back into the royal fold. Stuck in a painful limbo, clinging to a brand that's collapsing under the weight of its own contradictions. And the saddest part? As Charles and William draw their lines, Harry is running out of lifelines. The monarchy won't rescue him. Hollywood is losing patience. The public is losing interest. What's left? Independence or isolation? Harry once imagined independence as freedom. No rules, no duties, no crown hovering over him. But the reality? Independence has turned into isolation. He traded royal duty for Hollywood deals, but those deals are drying up. He traded palace protection for lawsuits in courtrooms. He traded family for fame and ended up with neither. And as the WellChild Awards approach, instead of celebrating his compassion, the world will watch his humiliation. The story won't be about the children or the charity. It'll be about Harry's desperate plea, his father's rejection, and his brother's brutal words. That's not the fairy tale ending he dreamed of. That's a nightmare of his own making. Closing punch. At the end of the day, this isn't just another royal scandal. This is a reckoning. Harry thought he could rewrite the rules, carve out his own path, and still keep the perks of palace life. But Charles and William have made it clear. Those days are over. The monarchy is moving forward. And Harry, he's left to face the cold, lonely reality of the independence he fought so hard for. Once the Golden Prince. Now, the disgraced outsider. And the world can't look away.